So to divide polynomials, what we want to think about is long division. And I know you guys are probably like, oh, I haven't done that since middle school or something like that, right? But I'm just going to do a quick refresher. So let's say we wanted to divide 178 by 3. So 3 divides 17 how many times? Well, how many times? It's going to be 5. 5 times 3 is 15. What do we do here? Remember, you subtract. And then you will have 2. You carry down your 8. So now you say, oh, 3 into 28, that goes 9. And then 3 9s 27. If you subtract, you'll get 1. So what does this mean? Or how do I write this answer? I don't know if you guys recall. You would say 59 remainder 1. Or you could say 59 and 1/3. Well, we wouldn't put a plus here. We'd just say 59 and 1/3. Either of these would work. Right? And that's your answer. Well, we can do what we call polynomial long division. And so basically, we're dividing 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5 by x plus 2. So I'm going to set it up. Okay, so we say basically we're going to be looking at how many times does x go into 2x cubed? Or you can say, well, what do I multiply x by to get 2x cubed? So either way, you could say, well, 2x cubed divided by x. So remember, this is 2x times x times x. These cancel. So I'm left with 2x squared. And we usually put square over square term. So then 2x squared times x would give me, again, 2x cubed. 2x squared times 2 is going to give me a positive 4x. And like we did before with long division, we're going to subtract. But with subtraction, it changes the sign of the second term. So if you look at it, negative times a positive becomes a negative. So then this becomes negative 3x minus 4x. So this is going to give us negative 7x. And then we bring down, or 4x. So we keep going. How many times does x go into negative 7x squared? So this is negative 7x squared divided by x. It's going to be negative 7x. This gives me negative 7x squared. Then 7x times 2 is going to give me negative 14x. We subtract. Alrighty, these go away. Remember, the sign here will change. So this actually becomes 18x. And I'm going to bring down my 5. X into 18x, that's just going to be 18. 18 times x will give me 18x. 18 times 2 is going to be 36. Then I will subtract. So this becomes negative 31. Okay, how do I write my answer? So this is going to be equal to 2x squared minus 7x plus 18 with remainder negative 31 over my divisor, x plus 2. Okay, you could also write it as your divisor times your dividend plus your remainder. In other words, if I were to multiply these and add 31, then I should get my polynomial that I'm dividing. So at this point, I implore you all to try this one on your own. If not, I can just keep going. So pause the video if you want to and try it. One thing that I do want to note, when you're doing long division, you have to write your polynomial in standard form in descending order. Now, if you look at this polynomial, observe that we have x squared but no x term. We have to account for every term once we have our highest or degree. So here, since the degree is 2, we have to have 2, then 1, then 0, and so on. So to do this problem, I'm going to write negative x squared. Since there's no x term, I'm going to put a placeholder of 0 and then minus 1. Okay. And then we just divide. So this becomes negative x squared divided by x will give me a negative x. Negative x times negative x squared. Negative x times x will give me negative x squared. Negative 1 times x, that's going to give me just negative x. Then I am subtracting. This sign will change. These go away. So this becomes negative x. Actually a positive because this is a positive sign. Yeah, positive x. I bring down my negative 1. X divides itself once. 1 times x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. We're subtracting. So this becomes negative 2. So my answer would be negative x plus 1 with remainder negative 2. Or you could just say negative x plus 1 plus negative 2 over x plus 1. Okay, these are my answers. All right, we're going to do one more example before we move on. So here I have 6x cubed plus 11x squared minus 31x plus 15 divided by 3x minus 2. What does this give me? So 6x cubed divided by 3x, I look at my numbers, I know that it's going to give me 2. And then if I pull 1x out of these 3, I'll be left with 2. So it's going to be x squared. And then 2x squared times 3x is going to give me 6x cubed. 2x squared times negative 2 is going to give me a negative 4x squared. So then this becomes 11 plus 4x squared. So that's going to give me 15x squared. I bring down my 31x. How many times does 3x go into 15x squared? So the 3 goes into 15 5. And then x goes into x squared x. Alrighty. And now we multiply. 5x times 3x is going to give us 15x squared. 5 times -2 is going to be -10x. Subtract. This becomes positive. So now we'll be left with -21x. I carry down my 15. So 3 into -21x. X's will cancel, so this will give me a -7. -7 times 3x is -21x. -7 times -2 is going to give me a +13. And then I'm going to subtract. This is going to give me 1. So my answer becomes 2x squared plus 5x minus 7 plus 1 divided by 3x minus 2. Okay. Now, there is another type of division that's personally my favorite. That's called synthetic division. And synthetic division can only be used if you have the divisor to be x minus k or x plus k. So for instance, here you see it's x plus 1, k is 1 in this case. So basically what we're saying is we wouldn't be able to use synthetic division for this problem because it's 3x minus 2. So it has to be in this form. So with synthetic division, we only look at our coefficients for our terms. And when we write our answer, we're going to write the answer with 1 degree lower. So let's see what I mean. So what do I do first? I'm going to write my coefficients. Again, it must be in descending order, and you cannot skip any of your exponent terms. So since we're starting at squared, there must be a 1, x to the first power, and then a constant. This is going to be 5, 3, -2. And if that's not the case, then we would always fill it with a 0. So in this instance, when we are using synthetic division, we take k as the opposite of what's there. So here, what our divisor is going to be is -1. So the opposite of +1 is -1. And that's going to go here. What do I do first? I bring down my 5. And then what am I going to do next? Well, next I'm going to multiply -1 by 5. And I'm going to put that here. So this becomes -5. And then we add -5 plus 3. It's going to give us a -2. And then we're repeating this pattern until we're done. -1 times -2 is going to give us a +2. We put that there. Then we're going to add, and this is going to be 0. And we're done because there's no more left. So when we talk about writing your solution, we go 1 degree less. Well, we started with 2. These are my coefficients for my answer. So my answer is going to be 5 times x minus 2. And that's my answer. Okay, try one more. And again, if you would like, you can pause this video and then do division yourself. Okay, so we're gonna take our coefficients. It's gonna be 2, -3, 4, and 5. We're gonna take the opposite. It's gonna be -2. So I'm gonna bring down my 2. I'm gonna multiply -2 by 2, and that goes here. That's gonna give me a -4. What am I doing here? I am adding. And so this becomes -7. So then what do I do? 2 times -7. That gives me a 14. Positive 14. Okay. If I add them, I'll get 18. Again, 2 times 18. That's going to give me 36. Put that there. And I am, actually it's -36. And I am adding. That's going to give me a -31. And so then now I'm going to write my answers 1 degree less. Remember, these are my coefficients. So this becomes 2x squared minus 7x plus 18 plus -31 divided by x plus 2. And that is our answer. Okay. Now, before we leave for today, I just wanted to look at a quick application problem. So here we're told that the volume of a rectangular solid is given by 3x to the 4th power minus 3x cubed minus 33x squared plus 54x. The length of the solid is given by 3x and the width is given by x minus 2. We are asked to find the height of the solid. So I'm going to attempt to draw this solid here. Let me probably put it up here. Sometimes drawing the figure helps. Sometimes. Okay, so here's my box. My height is here, that we don't know. The width is along here, and they told us that the width is what? X plus x minus 2. And then the length is along here, is 3x. So I don't know if you guys recall, the volume of a rectangular solid is length times width times height. So here they told us the volume. The volume is 3x to the 4th power minus 3x cubed minus 33x plus 54x. That's equal to my length, which is 3x, times my width, which is x minus 2. My height, I don't know yet. So this equals, so if I want to find the height though, I can divide both sides by this 3x, x minus 2. So then all I need to do is my long division. Let me put this over here. And so I can multiply this out. This is going to be 3x squared minus 6x. Okay. So let's do our division. 3x squared goes into 3x to the 4th power, x squared times, I think it should be a square here. So this would just be x squared here. So x squared times 3x squared is going to give me 3x to the 4th. X squared times a negative 6x is going to give me negative 6x cubed. I'm subtracting. This sign will change. So this becomes 3x cubed. I bring down this 33x squared. Oops, this should be cubed. Okay, so then 3x squared into 3x cubed. Well, that's just going to leave x. X times 3x squared is going to be 3x cubed. X times negative 6x is going to be negative 6x squared. We subtract. Here we're going to be adding. These go away, so here we're left with a negative 27x squared. We carry down the 54x. So 3x squared into 27x squared is going to give me a negative 9. 9 times 3x, negative 9 times 3x squared is going to be negative 27x squared. And negative 9 times 6x is going to be, negative 6x is going to be negative 54x. So these will both cancel. So that means my height is equal to x squared minus x, plus x minus 9.